So we're going to take now trigonometry into the coordinate plane. And to set up for our next course in pre-calculus and trigonometry, if you choose to go that direction, we are going to take the x-axis and the y-axis and turn it into a circle. Now, what we know about a circle is 360 degrees. So if we think about taking this circle and this xy axis, we've technically split the circle into 4 sections. Now, if we think about a circle being 360 degrees and 4 sections, that means each of these sections is 90 degrees. Now, when you start dealing with degrees and angles in a circle or in a graph such as this, we start over here at 0 degrees. And we work our way counterclockwise. So at the top, this is going to be 90 degrees. And we know that because we have a right angle right here. And we could connect the ends and make a right triangle right there if we wanted to. Now, going over another 90 degrees, this is then at the other end of the x-axis is 180 degrees. If we keep going, so again, we're going this direction, counterclockwise. Down at the bottom between the third and the fourth quadrants, we're going to end up here at 270. And then we're going to get back to the beginning. I'm going to put a comma next to 0 because 0 degrees is also 360 degrees. And I could go as many times around this circle that I wanted to. And so if I decide to go one time around and then I end up at 90 again, technically, I've went 90 plus 360 degrees, and this is now 450 degrees also. If I go one time around the circle and then I end up back here at 180 plus 360, well, this is also 540 degrees. Adding another 90 to that, or adding 360 to 270, this is 630 degrees. And if I add 90 to that, I have gone around now twice, 720 degrees. So angles from a positive viewpoint, we're going counterclockwise. And anything between 0 and 360, up to, but not including 360, means we haven't quite made it one time through the circle. Okay, now, what if we want to go the other direction? Okay, so we're going to always start here at 0 degrees. But we're going to go this direction, clockwise. Well, when we go clockwise, we're going in a negative direction. So I'm going to go 90 degrees clockwise, but this is down here, negative 90. And if I go another 90 degrees clockwise, I'm at negative 180. Going another 90 degrees clockwise, I'm at negative 270 degrees. And coming back to the beginning, I'm at negative 360 degrees. So what we know then, and we'll just kind of put this off to the side, is if we go 90 degrees, that's the same as going negative 270 degrees. If we go 180 degrees, that's the same as going negative 180 degrees. And going 270 degrees lands us at negative 90 degrees. Let's take a look at that. So if I go in a positive direction at 90 degrees, I'm going to end up right here. If I go negative 270, that would be negative 90, negative 180, negative 270. I end up at the same location. Now, when we talk about angles in situations like this, since this is 0 degrees, when we're working with angles, an angle in using trigonometry in the coordinate plane has two sides to it. And the sides are rays, and they all start at the origin. So here's the first side. This first side is called the initial side. Now, there's a second side to an angle. And let's go and put that right here. And this orange side has a name. It's called the, and I'll kind of write it up above here. It's called the terminal side. Terminal meaning to end. So this angle that's formed between the initial side and the terminal side, we can put a number on it. Let's say, now if we have to, we think about this, here's 90 degrees, and here's 180 degrees, and oh, by the way, when you're dealing with these, we want to make sure a calculator is in degree mode. So this angle could be 110 degrees. Because it's between 90 and 180, that would work. Now, I want to get into this. Is there another way I can name this angle? Well, when we can name an angle using another angle that has the same initial side and the same terminal side, we call those kinds of angles coterminal angles. And coterminal angles have the same initial side and have the same terminal side. Coterminal. It's like if you are co-presidents. That means two of you have the same job, or you share it. So let's think, okay, if we have this angle that you see is 110 degrees, I could, what if I went around the circle one more time? Well, to get another coterminal angle that's positive, I could add 360 degrees to that. So another coterminal angle would be 470 degrees. What if I wanted to go around again? Well, I could add 360 to that, 470. And so now I've got 830 degrees. So coterminal angles for 110 degrees would be 470, that's one, and 830 is as well. But what if I want a negative coterminal angle? Well, in that case, I would have to go from 0 and go clockwise. So how many degrees does it take to get over to that side? Well, if you think about this, and I'm going to come back to the screen here in a moment. So here we have our 110 degree angle. And if we go back clockwise to get here, we've actually formed a circle again. Okay, so that purple 110 and that green whatever have to add up to 360. So that's 250 degrees. Maybe you've already connected that. So if I go the other direction, that has to be a negative 250 degrees. So what we know then, going back to our previous screen, is another coterminal angle would be negative 250 degrees. So, let's take a look at one last example. And let's say you have a 200-degree angle. Now what I want you to do is pause the video, and I want you to draw the XY axis, and I want you to draw in the terminal side for 200 degrees. Then I want you to find one positive and one negative angle that are coterminal to 200 degrees. Pause the video now, and I'll be back with the results in just a moment. All right, so this is 200 degrees. It's in the third quadrant. It's past 180, but it hasn't made it to 270 yet. So if we found another coterminal angle that's positive, I could just go ahead and add 360 to this. And that would give me 560 degrees. Or if I wanted the negative version, which means I would have to come around this way, well, I'm going to need to go and, in theory, subtract 360 degrees, and that gets me negative 160. If you take the sign away from negative 160, 200 plus 160 is 360. It makes the full circle. If you need to put the angles on the X and Y axis to help you as a reference, please do that. This is coterminal angles, positive and negative, and this is an introduction to creating angles in the coordinate plane, so we can indeed use trigonometry, and we'll use that in the next video.